Hello everyone. I saw recently that League of Legends is coming out with a boy band, Heartsteel. The band composes, pun intended, of Ezreal, Kayn, Aphelios, Yone, Cassante, and Set. And I absolutely loved KDA. They were my top Spotify artists for like 2 or 3 years, so I thought it would be fun to talk about KDA and its marketing genius. And as far as I'm aware, KDA isn't LOL's first band. I just like KDA, so thus I'll just be talking about them. Before I begin, please know I'm not the most well-versed person in the League of Legends. I have played a lot of their mobile game and some of the PC game. I love KDA and I've seen most of Arcane, but I've never followed the history of the game very closely and I'm not too deep into the lore of the game. So please take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm simply one person doing my best to research topics I'm interested in, and I will be giving my sources in the description as well so you can read up on it if you want. KDA's first song, Pop Stars, released on November 3rd, 2018 during the 2018 League of Legends World Championship. I would say it became a certified hit because a month after the song had over 92 million views on YouTube a month after its release, and it was #1 on Billboard. It features an all-female cast with the characters Ahri, Akali, Evelynn, and Kai'Sa. Later on they had a new character, Seraphine, in a collab song as well, but Ahri, Akali, Evelynn, and Kai'Sa were the main cast. These characters weren't picked randomly either. According to Janelle, the product lead for the KDA skins, they wanted to cater to a pop group kind of formula. She looked for a leader, a shy character, a feisty one, and so on. Ahri seemed to be the first pick, in part because of her pop star skin in 2013, along with consideration into the League of Legends World Championship location. It was in Korea, and according to Janelle, they couldn't possibly do a pop star performance without the original pop star and the champion the Korean community had so much involvement in. Akali was picked because she was going through a rework at the time, and she fit the hip-hop rap Korean music vibes. And Kai'Sa was recommended to be, and I quote, a silent loner who expressed herself on stage through her movements. I couldn't find a reasoning for them adding Evelynn, but I think she fits in with the pop star formula perfectly. She's kind of like a bad girl diva. I could like kill you if I wanted kind of aesthetic that just fits in with K-pop perfectly. Without doing too much reading into Heartsteel, since it's still kind of sort of new, I can see each character fitting into KDA's original pop group mold as well. Aphelios is the quiet one, Ezreal is the sweet one, Set is the dumb one. I'm sorry, it's true, but I do like him. Kayn is the bad guy. I'm not sure about Cassante though because I don't really know him well. I think he looks like a nice, dependable leader, but again, I don't really know his personality. A lot of thought also went into the language of Pop Stars. The original demo for Pop Stars was fully in English, but they eventually added in more Korean as they went. And this is why I think Pop Stars and now Heartsteel, when it comes out, is genius marketing as well. It's marketed towards fans who aren't usually catered to, women. Well, and men too, but women. Now, I don't want to be like sexist and say that all K-pop fans are women. Men like this genre too, and I know some who like K-pop who are men. But there is a con in America, KCON USA, that took data of its attendees. Now, the 158,000 people who attended their New York and Los Angeles cons, 70% of them were women. And I know there are limitations to this. 158,000 people isn't a big sample size, and it's in America and not Korea, so it doesn't have a wide scope. But I think the sentiment still stands about KDA being advertised towards women, especially because all of the characters in this group are women. According to Ryan Morales, I'm sorry if I'm saying his last name wrong, he's Reeve3 on Reddit, 97% of female players in League of Legends only play female champions. They also found out that 60% of their champions were male and 40% of them were female, so they were working on getting closer to a 50-50 split of male to female characters. And he provided a word cloud from 2017 that showed Ahri was one of the most popular characters for female players. And I do think this survey and its data are a bit outdated now because there's definitely a lot more champions in League of Legends now than there were then. But I think it's something to think about how KDA caters to women both inside and outside of the game. They picked one of the most popular female characters in the game to be the lead of the group. They gave them pretty skins and a pretty music video. It brings people to their game and it brings new eyes outside of the gaming, like K-pop fans, into their game. Even Heartsteel fits right in with the female audience, especially with the current trend of the baby girlification of male characters like Ghost from Call of Duty. And if you don't know what baby girlification means, Mashable describes it well. It's the term of endearment for when a man is being cute, comfortable in his masculinity, or weak in an evocative way. And what screams comfortable with your own masculinity more than a boy band like this? And this is also what I think League of Legends is great at. They cater to a wide variety of fans, especially now that they do music and books. Even their new games cater to a variety of gameplay and art styles, like The Mage Seeker, a hack-and-slash game about their character Silas, or Bandle Tale, a farming-type game set in Bandle City. No other game that I can think of caters to such a wide variety of players and people. I think a big part of this is because League of Legends has been a long-standing game. It released in 2009, 14 years ago. Its player numbers continue to rise with 180 million people playing the game monthly in 2022, and it made $1.8 billion in 2022. To compare, Dota 2 had 11 million monthly active users in 2022. And I couldn't find a definitive number on money made, but it made $160 million on the Battle Pass in 2020, and made $260 million in 2016. So a big part of why I think League of Legends can pull off making fun side projects like KDA is because of their long-time standing as a game, the retention of player base, and the money it makes. They can afford to hire more people to make these projects. They can afford to make their characters and stories more alive than ever. And this is another thing I love about KDA. Aside from the awesome music, the characters are given a chance to be alive. One quick scroll through KDA's old Twitter and you see the images and videos of them together, holding their own golden record, signing autographs, and talking about themselves like they're real people with real aspirations. Even Heartsteel is bringing their characters to life with the recent TikTok videos showing the characters in a Discord call with one another. But none of this is as apparent or as roleplay as Seraphine's Twitter account. Most of her tweets were from her own point of view. She has a thread about how she doesn't have the right words to describe her incredible journey, and how she didn't know what her music would lead to. Even her own Twitter bio tries to make her relatable by saying she's a professional daydreamer. And this is where I can kind of see this trend becoming manipulative. Seraphine talks about her anxiety and asks her friends to send her encouraging words. People began taking issue with this because Seraphine isn't real. They thought it was strange that Riot was using mental health as a marketing ploy to become more relatable to its audience. And Seraphine is probably my favorite League of Legends character. I love her so much. I think she's cute. I love playing her. But I could see marketing like this become a problem. By creating realistic character pages like Seraphine's, KDA's, and Heartsteel's TikTok, they can create a parasocial relationship between the consumer and the character. So people could comment on Seraphine's post, they could identify with her, and maybe she would reply to them. But Seraphine isn't real. Her story is partly inspired by Bethany Higa, and Bethany Higa was a main writer of Seraphine's tweets, but there was still a team of people who created the character. Seraphine can't actually care about her fans because she doesn't exist. This is kind of like the definition of parasocial relationship. They are one-sided relationships where one person invests all the energy and time while the other person isn't aware of their existence. I could see marketing tactics like this taking advantage of people, especially those who don't know or don't know how to think better in these situations. It could make them dependent on these fictional characters, prompting them to buy more League of Legends projects, maybe even having the characters do ads for other products to make them even more revenue. But for now, to my knowledge, this hasn't happened with KDA yet. I still think it's a cute idea, and I personally love in-character tweets and TikToks. I love seeing the characters come alive and interact with each other. It's such a cute, fun idea, and I'd love to see Overwatch do the same thing. But overall, I do really enjoy KDA. I love the music, I love the idea. I'd love to see more games expand on their characters' universes and create them as bigger people outside of the game they're in. And that's all my thoughts on KDA for now. I love their music and their style, and I hope Heartsteel is just as good. Thank you for watching.